Hey everybody, it's Pete. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. Welcome to a new episode of today's Best Stock Picks. We're going to be creating a game plan for Wednesday, tomorrow, June 23rd. I got the magic sheet out here today, and I want to read it off. I want to make sure that you understand everything that we're going to talk about now. Three big stocks in the news that exploded today. We're going to talk about the bullish U-turn trade setting up for tomorrow. I know I've been teaching you that a little bit over the last few days. We're also going to talk about a trading setup that I learned way back in the day from somebody who was a NASDAQ market maker for First Boston in the late 90s into the early 2000s. And I call the trade Exhaustion. And we're going to take a look at that. We're actually going to see that on the chart today and what it means and how to spot it and how to trade it, more importantly. We're going to look at a couple of breakout trades, and then we're going to work our way over into a wrap-up for cleaning up the game plan for tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining me. I just have to do a disclaimer and one notice, and we will be right back. Okay, as I said yesterday, I'm going to keep doing it every day. Unfortunately, somebody's impersonating me in YouTube. They have put up a fake page. They're answering people in the comments. Under no circumstances will I ever post a WhatsApp phone number for you to contact me. There's no reason to do that. I do not do that, so please ignore them and don't respond to them. They are not me. They're actually creating a fake page. So I hate to have to do that every day, but I want you to know what the real me is. We're going to head on over into the sector rotation and the SPY first, the SPY ETF. And the NASDAQ. What's interesting right now, we're not seeing it in the overall numbers, but this is really where it gets interesting, where you kind of look under the hood and being in the market every day, doing this kind of rotation every day, really digging in, you start to see things that aren't really obvious. And we're seeing some particular sectors, and technology specifically right now is lighting up. Microsoft new high, new all-time highs. Facebook had a good day today. But I just want to ask you for one favor. I'd like to help you. The biggest thing, the biggest feedback that we've been getting has been my question about what do you believe are the top two reasons that you're struggling right now? What do you believe when you're buying stocks, when you're selling stocks? What do you think is the missing piece? What do you think is the reason that you aren't further down the road, where you're not seeing your trading account go like that, slowly grinding higher, or maybe even fast? What do you think that is? Leave a comment below. We're going to have a webinar coming up soon where we're going to have a back and forth kind of an Ask Me Anything Q&A session. I want to know what's bothering you as far as what you think the obstacle is, and that'll help me create some better content for you when we have that session. If you find this stuff helpful, definitely give us a thumbs up. And if you could, I'd really appreciate it if you can give a subscribe to let me know that you're enjoying the content, and hit the alert button so you get updates. We're going to head right over to the charts. We're going to get right into the market, and then we're going to shoot right over to Plug Power and this mysterious new buyer that they talked about. We're going to talk about Triple D and what that means. We're also going to talk about Peloton. We're going to jump right over to the charts right now. So first, we're going to head over. We're going to look at the sector rotation. As we said, heading into Wednesday, the 23rd, technology made its way back to the list. But this is the interesting thing here. We are finding so many good opportunities in our community right now. And it's because we're first starting out with this. We're starting out with sector rotation. We're finding the right ideas now at the right time. And then we're working our way over into the other types of setups, which are, like I said, I'm going to talk to you about bullish U-turns, and we're going to talk about exhaustion. So really not a big help on the sector rotation part of the market right now. Consumer cyclical only has a couple of stocks. Technology is the one that's dominating, and you'll see why in a second. If we work our way over to the market, there's no other way to say it. The bulls, the bullish buyers, the bullish order flow took control again. The big lesson right here, and I just can't get this across strongly enough, whatever time frame you're trading, you do not want to fade an obvious order flow. Right now, in the longer term picture, bullish order flow is still obvious. There's no reason to be looking at the short side. When this pulled back, we said, let's wait. Let's let the buyers come back. Let's let them get off vacation. And 2 days of amazing, amazing bullish action. And the reason this is important, and I can't stress this enough, we talk about the stock market power pyramid every day. It's the market, the sector, the industry group, and the stocks. When the market is obvious, it makes it easier to get in there and trade with confidence, put on share size with confidence, and just as importantly, hold those trades a little bit longer, because all of the money's going in the same direction, despite the fact that the sectors themselves in the bigger picture, are having a little bit of a hard time. So we dug beneath and found the right stocks this week. And specifically, we're going to talk right now about Plug Power. So let's hop on over to that chart of Plug again, and we'll get into what to do. Now, first, we'll take a look at the news. Earnings, right? Earnings were mixed, but this is just, in my opinion, a little bizarre, a mysterious new customer. I mean, just say who it is already, right? So apparently big news. They've restated all of their earnings. If you remember from last year, the stock just got absolutely crushed on some accounting here, right? This thing was actually, let me reset that chart. It was way up here, and then news came out about accounting and they're restating all of 2020. None of that matters to you right now, right? Classic head and shoulders bottom pattern. Today we broke out with a catalyst. That's what we're looking for. Anything that we do, we actually have in our community, it's something called SWAC, SWAC, stocks with a catalyst. This is a catalyst. Earnings weren't great, but what's more important, the interpretation of the earnings right now, or how the market is interpreting what's going on with that stock. Workhorse works very similar to this, where Workhorse stock has news. Same thing with BYND, Beyond Meat. It has news. That's a stock to be in. Right now, Plug, take advantage of this opportunity. If we get follow through, stick with it. Do they hold the bid? If you remember on Sunday's video, I said the biggest challenge I'm giving the market this week is, do you hold the opening price for Monday? And as of right now, that's happening. Plug has buyers. We're going to take a look here. Buyers stepped up. Volume stepped up. We took out this level. We are absolutely looking for at least a run up to 40, probably around that 44 level over the next week or so, which basically brings us right over here into somewhere in this gap fill. So I can't stress this enough. Buyers stepped up. I'm starting to put on a position in this and starting to work towards that 44. This is pretty bizarre. I'm not going to lie, mysterious new customer, but that doesn't matter. We're trading the price action. We're trading the tape. Next, we want to look over at 3D, Triple D. Really big deal that they signed today. Regenerative soft tissue matrix for breast reconstruction procedures. I can't even say it. Bottom line is this. What did Triple D do today? This is what it did today. It was explosive today. We actually had a call out this morning. And again, this is the value of being in a community. The alerts are, and the whole conversation is actually on your phone. At 9:38 this morning, I said there's something going on with Triple D, and it really wasn't moving that much at that point. But the tape is telling us it's active and it's performing well. And that was within the first 8 minutes of the day. Market opened up, woke up, I should say, a little bit after that. And right around here is where I pointed it out. This is when the news came out and the stock just exploded. So what does that mean for tomorrow? It means that we're looking for follow through. We have some minor resistance here, which is actually where we headed up to already. But, and this is a critical part of trading. And I'm going to use Roku as the example. Okay. Roku looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. Exploded, right? Is this a good swing trade tomorrow? No, it's not. It's already gone $70, $75, maybe even $80 in 4 days. We're going to trade this as a bullish echo where we're going to day trade it and then look for a pause before the next swing trade. So bringing that back over to Triple D, this is a monster move. The stock was up 27%. At one point, it was up 32%. I still like the long. I still like the long as a swing trade, but it's not the same as catching it on the first optimal entry. The optimal entry was probably around 10 minutes into the market opening today, but we're talking about swing trades in the longer term. Still like the trade. I'm going to work the position, expecting it to fluctuate a little bit here and then start to make the bigger move. So I like the idea, but position sizing is everything. Peloton called out by our moderators today. Sorry. And Aldo, great job. Finally took out this 112 level with conviction today. I like this one as well. A little bit of minor resistance around 124 in that area from over here and over here. And then it's got blue skies above that. Again, though, first day out, good volume. Buyers stepped up. We're going to start working in order in that direction. I want to come back to a couple of the ideas that we talked about on Sunday coming into the week. Home Depot, we mentioned on Sunday afternoon. So far, it's performing very well. 2 bullish gaps of order flow in our direction. What's kind of cool right now is the 50-period moving average, a big number watched by a lot of traders, is coinciding with our initial profit target on that as well. So one more big day, we might scale out of that. For cash flow, same thing with BMBL that we talked about as well, getting a nice push. Would love to see one more big, giant push of a candlestick. So I promised I wanted to talk about some bullish U-turn trades, which means that they opened lower and reversed, and now we're looking for that reversal to start to move back in the direction of the existing order flow. So in that window, we're going to be taking a look at CCIV. Okay, you can see here it actually traded below the previous candle and reversed. We're looking for that to follow through. Two of the bigger ideas are Mara, trading very cleanly with Bitcoin right now. The thing I want to point out here, though, and this is a really big lesson from Monday as well. You can see here, right? Bullish U-turn, traded below, reversed. This is what matters, okay? That's what matters. So Riot and Mara are the two ideas that meet that criteria. Why is that so significant? Why does that matter so much? Well, we called this one out, and it had the same exact setup. Bullish U-turn with heavier volume, taking out the highest volume of the last week, and this is the kind of explosion that we got. So we're looking for follow-through. If we open above or trade above today's high on Wednesday, that's the igniting price action. Now, the thing that you need to pay attention to here is the fact that it failed. 4 out of 5 days, it couldn't get over the 50-period moving average, and you can see that actually happened over here as well. That would be our first target if we're looking for a short-term trade, which is right up around the 30 area, which is still around $3 away. So you need to know the significant levels where smart money came in and smashed the stock, where smart money came in and they pushed it through that level. And obviously, we just talked about Peloton punching through that level. CPE this week was the same thing. 52 was the level. I'll be straight up with you. I didn't take this trade. I didn't like the price action, but we had the level above 52 and through there. A lot of members of the community did. I was day trading, and some other members took it as a little bit longer term trade that followed through. I want to follow up with a lesson. I want to follow up with something called exhaustion. Exhaustion is where a stock is moving really hard and really fast for an extended period of time in a particular direction. And if you could visualize buying pressure, or selling pressure. And let's say you're the hedge fund and you have millions of shares, you need to sell them. You're like, okay, there goes $1 million, and you sell those over a couple of days. There goes another $1 million, you sell those over another week, right? All of a sudden you get down to where you're pushing it down and it's the end of your order. Maybe you have 500,000 shares left. You're like, oh gosh, if I stop, it's going to spike on me. I just want to get rid of all of them at a fire sale and get rid of them. So you call up your friend who's a market maker or a specialist somewhere else, and they say, hey, Jane, it's Joe. I have 500,000 shares of this stock. If you give me a good print on the balance, I'll be done, and you get do whatever you want with them. Do you have a client? Or are you interested in that yourself? Happens all the day. Nothing absolutely wrong with it. Two people negotiating the price, right? That gets printed, and what happens is after that big move to the downside, in this case, or to the upside, that cleanup print, the end of that selling pressure in this case, lifts the pressure off the stock. You see that big print on the market, and then you start to head back in the other direction if new buyers step up and think it's a value at that point. At the minimum, if you were shorting that stock, you tighten up your trailing stop loss and you move it lower, in this case on a short sale, because the pressure that was pushing it down has now gone. I'm going to show you what that looks like on the chart. That's a big mouthful, right? This is what it looks like, okay? Selling pressure, and then a big spike in volume after that push to the downside. Would have been, if it was exactly at that support level, it would have been amazing. Push down a little bit lower. Now, what happens on these types of trades is you see the exhaustion and they skid maybe just a little bit further down. So you need to know on the chart, where did that buyer step in, or where did that print get for the end of the move? And then if and when it gets back above that price level, that's the level to start saying, okay, the reversal is starting to happen. You don't want to just jump in because of the exhaustion. You want to jump in because you get a little bit of feedback from the market that, okay, we bottomed out and now maybe you have a higher low or something along those lines. Pretty interesting setup. Definitely something to learn, to notice. I want to follow up with 2 more trades, and I promise we'll be done because these are good ones that are setting up too. Space, Virgin Galactic, really good follow through, as well as STEM, which we've been talking about for the last week or so. You can see that 36 has been the level we needed to get through. Volume stepped back up again yesterday, got back above that level, and I'll be looking for a new move up into the 42 to 46 level. Got a bunch of questions about entries, exact entries, and that kind of stuff. Look, we have a private community. I would love to see you on the other side of the private community. It's only $49 for the first 30 days. You get everything, including having access to me all day, every day, seeing the trade management. No hard sales pitch, but if you want the exact entries and get all the stuff that we do, click the link below the video. It's $49 to invest in yourself for the next 30 days. I'd love to see you on the other side because we have just the most amazing community that I'm grateful to be a part of. So that's what we got for tomorrow. I'm fired up. I can't wait for tomorrow. Chinese electric vehicle stocks setting up a very interesting setup tomorrow too that I can't wait to trade. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe. That would mean the world to me and let me know that you like these videos. Thank you so much for sharing this with me today. I'm so grateful that you're here with me. Have an awesome night. Have an awesome day of trading on Wednesday. Thank you.